to you live.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the October 4th episode of the Bench Boys podcast. Today, it's myself and Jared in studio, and producer Brett's in the background. May join us, may not join us. It's day 3 of the NHL season, and I couldn't be happier.
Hell yeah, man. Yeah, it's already been a treat. We've had some good games already the first 2 nights there, so it's kind of seeming like it's continuing on, so it's good.
That being said, I'd like to, since we missed last week and haven't really got to talk about the RFAs finally being done, rather than projecting and hoping for contracts and all this stuff. It's actually done. We can actually talk about it. We can actually compare sort of the RFAs and their signings.
Yeah, for sure.
For those that live under a rock and watch a podcast, all the RFAs are signed. Nobody's sitting out.
Yeah, it's good.
Most guys took bridge deals.
Yeah, which is not what I expected.
Me neither. I don't know if anybody expected that.
I maybe expected like 1 or 2, but not like most.
We expected Patrick Laine.
Yeah, that was one that like you needed to kind of bridge that one.
Yeah. And then Point, you're probably kind of expecting just because that's the way Tampa Bay does business.
It seems like, yeah, like
right.
They've done that with Kucherov and everything already. So,
but the majority of guys taking a bridge was interesting.
Yeah, I don't know if that's like the GM's way to combat like what those RFAs are trying to get
just
now.
The money, like just
that's kind of what I'm trying to think of. Is like, why did all the GMs do it that way? Because it's just trippy. Like I think for the most part it was because most of the teams with these RFAs were cash strapped. For sure, that's very true.
Right,
so it's like you can't give a big term, big money contract because you can't flat out afford it.
You look at Calgary, for example, with Tkachuk, the $7 million he signed for is perfect.
Yeah, because that's like
it
puts them at cap.
Pretty much exactly as much as they could spend.
Yeah.
And by the time that deal's over, there's a lot of money off the books, and it'll be a lot easier to pay him double digits.
Yeah, if that's the route that they take.
Yeah.
Which probably they would.
After watching Tkachuk in his first game of the season last night, yeah, he's going to be pricey.
And he's not even... You could tell he wasn't even fully there.
You could tell he wasn't himself.
You know, he was still a little bit slower than he usually is.
The
fumbling a bit with his hands, but
the little snow shower on Rivera was so classic.
So good. Just like shoots off. He took the shot too, right?
Yeah.
So good.
Absolutely unnecessary. Could not sell it that he was just trying to stop.
Oh, yeah.
Straight up like, I'm trying to slow your goalie. Like, screw you.
And it's funny because he didn't have that much speed.
Yeah.
And then it goes in. It's like 2 feet high snow, not like the full face snow. It's just like, here you go.
I couldn't. I think we sent it to each other. I think me and my other buddies sent it to each other. Like, we were just...
So funny. It's
classic. Stirring shit up.
Yeah.
Speaking of classic, Milan Lucic being an asshole. That was pretty fun.
Yeah, what do you take from that?
Same as our take. Absolutely ludicrous that Zadorov got any penalties.
Yeah?
Absolutely ludicrous.
You don't think that was a boarding penalty, though? No?
That is all Zarnik being a bitch.
Maybe.
Man, if Zarnik
I guess you're right. He turns and...
Like, take the hit like a man. I get it. It's Zadorov.
And he's a big boy, and Zarnik's a fucking little guy, right?
And Zarnik was having a rough period.
He's like the new Hamonic, I guess, this year, just getting beat up.
Getting crushed.
Oh, man, that was rough.
But the problem with that is because he decided to turtle, that hit gets way worse.
Yeah, definitely.
Right? Zadorov didn't do anything wrong. I don't think. Like, he didn't...
It wasn't like terrible, right?
He didn't target a defenseless player.
Yeah.
He was committed to that hit, and then Zarnik just turns and...
And that's what he does.
Big boy hockey
that's
league,
what he does too, right?
Yeah.
So,
I mean, at absolute worst, Zadorov gets 2. How does he get a 5 for fighting?
How is there any fighting penalty? That's like, they didn't even fight, man. He punched. Lucic punched him with his freaking glove on.
I see the fight, sort of, because Lucic dropped his mitts.
Right. Isn't that like a different penalty?
Well,
or something?
so if you drop your gloves and then that's the end of it, I think it's 2 minutes for unsportsmanlike. But because he dropped his gloves and then held on and kind of wrestled him standing up, I think that's
maybe it's because Zadorov bear hugs him after he gets like almost knocked out.
Yeah, like Lucic gives him like 4 good shots, and Zadorov's looking at the ref.
Yeah, that is the best thing about it.
Staring at the ref, getting punched in the face. Like, you're just gonna let this happen?
The one shot, he's looking at the ref, just gets clocked.
Boom! Just like this is happening.
The ref's just like penalty.
I'm like, and then it's 5 each for fighting. They both come away with 2s, and then Lucic gets an extra 10 because he's a dick.
Which is fair.
100% that was instigating.
Oh, yeah.
But so I think that's why they wanted to go with the 5s, because then they could give him the 10 for instigating.
Right.
If you don't call it a fight, you can't give him an instigator.
Yeah, and what else do you call that? Roughing. That'd be the only thing.
Right, so that, like, because if you go there and you go 2 minutes for boarding, 2 minutes for roughing, and then an extra 2 for roughing, is that worth it? Like, is that enough?
Yeah.
But at the same time, nobody got power play time, so like I think Colorado would have took the 2-minute power play.
That's true, and it just took Lucic out of the game for 17 minutes or whatever.
If your Colorado is there's a bad thing, because you can't just skate
it's
around.
Good and bad,
on.
But yeah.
Man,
he's done fairly well though.
I don't think Lucic is ever gonna score. Or is ever going to be a threat on 5-on-5?
No.
Ever.
Not like a scoring threat himself, but he can make plays happen with grinding in corners. He's good on the cycle, and he's still got some decent hands, and he's good at protecting the puck. That's the things that I've noticed from him.
Just like,
he's really slow, though.
Man. And then, absolute joke to put him out as the extra attacker.
Yeah, that's kind of... he's
I
not gonna score, man.
Really know what the hell the point of that was. Like,
especially when you've been out of the game for that long. Like he just got back 5 minutes into the third or something
like that. He might have had 2 shifts.
Jeez, man, that's kind of.
I don't really know what's going on there, but I guess we should go back to the RFAs where it started, because we got on a bit of a tangent. Usual.
Classic.
Who do you think is? So we're going to go with two questions here. Best contract, best value.
Okay.
Who do you think's got the best contract?
Rantanen.
Really? Okay. I'm not against that. He's up there for sure, in my opinion.
Just because he's locked up, you know? I feel like...
That's why my pick is mine. But
plus, based on last night, dude didn't even have a freaking training camp. It comes in, he's better than everyone. Best player on the ice.
He was
pretty much
ridiculous last night.
Like, unreal. Honestly, that's recency bias in a way, but I'll keep it that way.
My best contract's Connor, in my opinion.
Yeah. See, that would have been
for the same reason he's locked up.
Mm-hmm.
And Kyle Connor at 7, basically.
Super value, man.
For an extra $140,000 a year over Tkachuk, he got another 4 years.
Yeah. Not too shabby.
Different players.
Yeah.
But he's a center and he scores.
But the thing is, I would say, I don't know. They have a lot that they bring to each team, you know?
For sure.
So, like, both of those guys are super important.
Yeah, like, they're equally valuable to their teams, for sure. It's just Tkachuk brings, like, the intangibles where Connor doesn't really.
He doesn't. He's more of a... If we're going to, like, compare to, like, a Flames player, it'd be more like a Monahan, right? Yeah. Not quite maybe the scorer, but he does put up some points, man.
He's definitely going to put the points up like Monahan does.
And he's a penalty killer, you know. True. He's got some other valuable traits.
So that one is awesome contract. Now, best value.
Best value?
There's a couple on my list.
Like, point, man. That's a real good amount for a player who put up how many points last year? How many points did he put up? Like fucking 90 something.
Yeah,
right?
something like that.
91 or some shit. Am I off? I don't know.
Hello, Google. You want to hook me up
Hey,
here with an
Google.
answer? Hey, Google.
How many points Braden Point get?
I wish we had that, like, the answer just recorded.
Just sitting right here.
Braden Point, Hockey DB. Hello?
But even though it's only, 3 years, whatever.
Yeah, 92 points. 41-51.
92. Over 40 goals, too.
41 goals, 51 assists for 92 points. And do you think he's going to slow down?
Oh, no. He's going to get better, probably.
Obviously, he's probably not going to get 92 points this year because he's going to be off for the first month, which I guess we can talk about that.
Yeah. It might not be quite that long, but
it's weird. A bit weird how they just sign him and then they're like, oh, hey, by the way, he had hip surgery.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that was hidden. Hey,
yeah,
no one knew.
Nobody said anything. Which, on one side of things, I'm like, okay, well, you could have held out a little bit longer. But I don't know how this works. If you're not on contract, yes, he was an RFA, but he wasn't technically under contract. Does the team still deal with your medical stuff?
Ooh, yeah.
I was thinking that after. I'm like, maybe he was just maybe him and his agent were just sick of paying the bills.
Yeah, fucking man. I can't.
Then again, he is Canadian, so he probably got it done up here. No, he's an athlete. That's paid for.
Yeah, no doubt.
Anyway,
wherever the best
that's
are.
an aside that we can't really answer.
Yeah,
but that's he's definitely up there on my value contract.
Mm-hmm.
I think McAvoy is sneaky good.
Oh
value
yeah,
too,
right.
Man.
4.9 or something.
Yeah, 4.9.
Right, they were talking about him yesterday.
Like
I can't
McAvoy,
remember
Werenski's in that conversation too.
Yeah.
But McAvoy,
what's Werenski making?
7, I think.
Okay, yeah.
So they're basically the same.
Like McAvoy's gonna be real good too, like real good.
That's the thing. Like they were talking about it on. I think it was during the Flames game actually last night.
Yeah, because
they were talking about this value contract, and
right.
That's what brought McAvoy to my mind.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna. They did this to me. He had the most minutes,
right,
in the playoffs for the Bruins last year.
Yeah,
and they went to the final.
That's crazy, especially the guy that young, and defense like.
And they got him for 4.9.
Yeah. Yes,
it's a bridge, and he's gonna get paid in 3 years.
Fair.
He's gonna get the PK Subban treatment.
Here's the thing, though. They're so smart because look at how many of these contracts are so good right now for them. Oh, they got a good window here.
We talked about it at the end of the year last year, like going into the summer for bench, like the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
This was the only thing they had to do. McAvoy and Carlo, and they had money to do it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, didn't even need the money.
They were just in the Cup final.
Yeah,
and they didn't lose a single player.
Yeah,
that was important to that team.
It's a scary team, just as scary, even more scary because they've been there. That's like
I hate it.
Do you see the NHL 20 simulation?
Yeah, of course.
Bruins win the cup and they beat Toronto out in 7.
Why wouldn't they? They might as well program that into the game. Screw the simulation, just program it. Call it a day.
Most likely thing to happen.
Like
those two teams be in the playoffs, goes to 7, Bruins win.
I'm so sick of it,
man. Like, hopefully, I don't even want to see that. I don't want to see that in the first series. Please don't do it.
Please, can I have a second round series?
Because I want to see that later on, if anything. Or I just don't want to see it because we all know what's going to happen. At least Kadri ain't there. If it happens, suspended.
I'm going to cry.
Yeah. I don't blame you.
Did Corey Schneider just get hurt? Because that would be
would be pretty classic.
We'll have to find that out in a minute.
Just scored again.
So yeah, I think those are my favorite contracts. Obviously, every single one of these RFAs is huge for their team because it means they're playing. Marner may be expensive. Marner may have set the bar for only the Leafs.
We're gonna see what that really means,
right?
Because it's a lot of money, but it could still be worth it for sure.
Well, that's it, right? Like, I was kind of saying it yesterday. It's one thing, the Leafs are paying half their salary, currently half of their cap to 4 players.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
4 forwards.
4 forwards, yeah, that's true. Like, that's a lot. For sure it is. But it's better than paying Like, those are 4 good players. Those are 4 players that are going to contribute.
Mm-hmm.
Assuming Nylander doesn't shit the bed again. Which he's actually looked really good.
I was gonna say, yeah, he's looking a lot better this year.
His pass to Matthews against Ottawa in Wednesday's game.
It's very, very nice.
My God,
that game was an exhibit for that offense.
There was a lot of offensive highlights in that game.
Yeah.
And, did I get happy?
Yeah, the Barry play too.
Obviously, it's Ottawa, so I'm not too excited, but
yeah,
still makes me happy.
Playoff team in 2 years though.
Yeah, for sure. And to the cap.
And cap.
What was I gonna say? Oh, the one thing with Toronto paying $40 million to those guys is, okay, is it worth $40 million? Maybe not. But is it worth 35? Is it worth 36? Probably.
It's probably gonna be.
Probably pretty close.
That's like that's gonna be their trademark, right?
Well, guess what? Go look at the Calgary Flames. We're just talking about it. Okay, Milan Lucic isn't exactly $6 million against the cap, but is he going to produce $6 million? No. Is he going to produce $2 million? Probably, maybe. Guess what? You just lost $4 million, just like the Leafs did.
And if that's and if that's how you're quantifying money, yeah,
right. So
you're right.
When it's overpaying the top end of your lineup is a lot easier to swallow.
Yeah.
Again, that being said, there hasn't been a team in NHL history to win the cup with a $10 million player. The Leafs have 3.
Really?
Yeah.
Holy shit. That's crazy.
That was a Tim and Sid fact, I think I saw on.
That's wild, dude.
Crazy, right? So
that's how it is, though.
It's pretty scary, right? Like that's definitely a scary thought.
Yeah.
100%. Can they do it? I guess time will tell. The decor this year looks pretty good.
It's better. It's way better.
For those that haven't watched Sandin yet,
yeah.
Ooh-wee.
See, and he's such an important player to that team this year because
he's so huge because
he's got big shoes to fill.
It's not just that. He's on his entry-level deal.
That too, exactly.
But he's also on his entry-level deal for the first year of that. So he's cheap for 3 years.
Yeah, because he hasn't even played.
So he played. So this is the weird part about Sandin. He was drafted out of Sault Ste. Marie, but he was technically drafted out of Sweden. He was on loan to Sault Ste. Marie, which then gives him the Swedish rights of a draft pick, which means he could come over play in the AHL and not burn entry-level years.
Oh.
So he has the same, like, if the Leafs want to send him back down after 9 games, his contract will slide again because he's a Swedish pick. Even though he was playing in the CHL.
Huh. What?
It's so weird, dude. It's when they drafted him, they talked about it, and it's just so weird.
That's
crazy. But I don't imagine watching him play in the preseason, watching him play in Game 1, and tonight, what's going on right now, it ain't happening.
Yeah,
He's
they
not
don't.
going anywhere.
They don't need any sampling anymore.
Ooh, Mitch is on the board with his second of the night.
Oh my God! But yeah, and well, there you go. Mitch has got 2, so and he's looked really good already,
Mitch,
right?
like,
that team's.
He hasn't looked. He didn't look as powerful as Rantanen did last night. Man, Rantanen was actually
a beast.
You want to talk about powerful? Did you watch the Oilers game?
No,
against Vancouver.
No.
Draisaitl looks like he is going to crush this year.
He's a tank, man.
Man, he was a man against Boyz. I don't know if
big German boy.
Like, you watch Connor McDavid, you watch Nathan McKinnon.
Mm-hmm.
They're a man against boys for different reasons, right? They're fast,
Speed,
they're crazy.
Yeah.
You can just see it in their eyes that they're just better than everybody.
Yeah.
Draisaitl looked like he was playing midget hockey with bantam players or something.
Just manhandling.
He just looks bigger than everybody.
Yeah.
He looks like a monster, and he's like, I'm doing whatever I want. Screw you guys.
He's like the new age power forward, eh?
Yeah.
Like, this is what a power forward has to be now.
And him and Cassian scares me because Cassian's bad, but he looks good with him. Which is exactly
Cassian's good at fitting in, though.
But it's exactly what the knock on Draisaitl was You're going to pay him $8.5 million, and he's not going to be able to drive his own line as a centerman. That's not good value. Oh,
not the case.
Looked like it on Wednesday.
Yeah.
Looked like he figured that out.
That's extremely good news for the Oilers.
That is huge.
Because
humongous big.
I think like a lot of people have, and I did see that Larson got injured though.
Yeah, broken foot.
That's not good, dude. First game of the year. Oh, I feel bad for you Oilers fans. That's gonna be rough.
All he wanted to do was have a mediocre year.
Is this his contract year too?
Let's find out.
Shit, it might be. Or is it
I don't
next year?
think so.
It might be next year.
He's had a rough go since the Hall trade.
Yeah, real.
And it's twofold, right? It's the Oilers doing Oilers things, but it's also he's just had a rough year.
Yeah.
Or had rough years or rough transition into the Oilers.
A couple calendar years have been rough on him. But
Adam Larson, yeah, he's on contract till the end of 2020, 2021.
Okay, yeah, so
he's a UFA to start
next year,
yeah.
Yeah.
Next summer he's a UFA.
That's the one thing. That's the things I've noticed most about. I don't know how much you can take the preseason, but watching the Oilers and the Canucks, they are so low on depth. Like their middle pack is like a lot of other teams, like low pack.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
the guys that they have to call up are fringe, where like you look at the Leafs or something.
Yeah.
Where you're calling up a guy and you're like, he could be an NHLer. Put it this way, like the Leafs sent down Patan. Or sorry, they didn't send him down.
They keep Patan up?
He's playing tonight.
Oh, nice.
But I think they did put him on waivers. They also put like Kevin Gravel on waivers. They put Kenny Agostino, I believe, on waivers. Or maybe he's just not in the lineup or whatever. Doesn't matter.
That guy.
Those guys are like, those are NHLers. They've played a fair amount of NHL games. They are players.
Yeah.
They'd probably be in the lineup in Edmonton.
Oh, yeah.
Right? And that's what you're saying, right? It's just
they just don't
you
have
need
that.
the depth, but at the same time, if you're playing for injuries, it's hard. But in a game like the NHL, you need some sort of backup plan.
Yeah. Well, yeah, for sure. And you see it like it's going to happen. It happens to every team. And if it doesn't, you're damn lucky that you're going to get even getting the flu. Someone gets the flu
at the wrong time.
Yeah, or a few, right? Cycles through the room.
One guy gets the flu, somebody else is getting
someone
the flu.
Gets the mumps.
Yeah, let's not go back there.
But like, you know, little injuries, stuff like that, if they pile up, you get like someone sick, you get like 4 guys out in one night, you got to bring up 2 from the A. You're like, "Oh shit."
Well, put it this way with Edmonton, right? With Adam Larson in the lineup, their D-core was better this year.
Mm-hmm.
It's not good, but it was better. Now decent. Adam Larson gets hurt, and who's playing in his spot? Chris Russell. Ouch.
Yikes, dude.
You can say what you want about Adam Larson. He's better than Chris Russell.
Oh, yeah. A head taller.
Right?
Yeah.
So it's a struggle, man. It really is.
Yeah.
And it's going to be a long season. I walked into this recording studio here today, and Jersey scores 2 goals.
Oh,
it's on TV. And you looked at me, and all you said was, it's going to be rough.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. These Jets boys are... they're in tough, dude.
Knock on wood. Imagine Morrissey gets hurt in the next month. You might as well not even show up.
They can't take any more hits to their D-line.
You might as well not even show up to the rink.
They cannot take any more hits to that D-line. It will completely screw their whole season. There's only so much Hellebuck, and Brossoit's getting lit up tonight, but
hey,
there's only so much they can do.
They're pulling a comeback here. It's 4-3.
Oh, it's good. It's because I stopped watching.
Probably.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's this depth, right? Like all of a sudden you start eating away, and it's kind of what happened with Rantanen and what happened with these UFA or these RFAs. When you're looking at life without them, you can probably handle it. Right? Colorado probably could have handled not having Rantanen for a couple of weeks, a month, whatever. But then if you lose a guy, and then all of a sudden instead of your 2 going to your 1, your 3 going to your 2, your 4 to your 3, and then a winger, somebody coming out of the A, now all of a sudden it's the 3 to the 1 and the 4 to the 2, and then you're like, oh my God.
Whatever you can find. Maybe we pull up a young guy, put him in like a second line.
Well, okay. Yeah,
throw him to the Wolves.
Look at the Oilers. Friggin'
right.
Going into, well, the last day before the regular season started, their practice lines, McDavid had a left winger, 0 NHL goals.
Right.
Draisaitl had a left winger, 0 NHL goals.
Yeah, that's Nygaard guy, right?
Nygaard was with Draisaitl and
I'm still trying to figure that out.
Yurko or something. Yurko was practicing with McDavid. It's just like, man, like that's already pretty thin. Like really thin. And then you add it to injuries and stuff. Oof.
Yeah. It's going to be a long road.
Another good thing for the Oilers last night, or I guess it was Wednesday night. Mike Smith played really well.
Yeah.
And
I did watch a bit of that game. I'm remembering now.
It was actually really funny. I was scrolling around Twitter, and there was one. It was like, who knew our puck-moving defenseman was actually a goalie that we needed?
Yeah, he's probably better than half those guys passing the puck out there. Fuck. I know. Okay. Yeah, right. We watched... I can't even remember.
Yeah, anyway, we watched it here.
Right. We watched the start of it here, and I was just like, oh, man. Especially being a Flames fan and watching Smith all year last year. Well, I guess the last couple of years. Being like, oh, we have to play against this goalie who's a freaking brilliant passer. Third D-man back there. That's so annoying.
But
they need that too bad. So.
I had to answer the same question on Thursday at work about this same thing. Man, he's really, really, really good at moving the puck. I'm like, yeah, just wait till he puts it in your own net. Because it will happen.
It always happens.
We watched it last year in Calgary. It happened.
It happened.
He'll go out on an adventure, and he won't make it back in time.
He won't get back. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
The risk is definitely worth the reward with him, though.
It is overall for sure. It shuts down dump and chase.
The problem is when he's off, and he's still playing the puck. Yeah. And you're just sitting there watching him and going, can you just focus on the puck and stopping it from getting in your net? That's all I want. Just
letting in week 5 whole goals and shit.
Yeah, right? So it's just be a goalie, man. Just keep the puck out of your net. We'll worry about the dump-ins and stuff. Like, just
if it comes down to it, yeah. And especially because it's Edmonton, so.
But then the next thing that I worry about with Edmonton, they just signed Koskinen to $4.5 million. Mm-hmm. Now, Koskinen did not have a good preseason. He did not have a good training camp. You don't just give guys the starts in the NHL. That's not how this works. It's a big boy league. You have to earn it. But man, what does that? It's just it's another one of those contracts, right? What does that say about management? Remember, we talked about this on the podcast. We talked about
money.
They said when they fired Chiarelli that it was a team decision. From the top down, including Chiarelli, they wanted to give this deal to Koskinen.
I don't know if that was a good idea to say that.
Yeah. You could have blamed it on Chiarelli.
Yeah, right?
But no, you guys stood by it and said, this guy deserves $4.5 million. And yet, the $4.5 million guy doesn't even get game 1 starts.
Yeah, could end up being the most expensive fucking backup in the league. Probably. Actually,
no,
I don't know if he
Robin
would be.
Lehner is $5 million.
Okay, yeah. So
I was about to say that because that's the thing, right? Like I was about to say, Smith is a pretty good backup plan at $2 million.
Yeah,
he's old, so
maybe he can still put in the wheels 20, 30 games, 40 games, even maybe
until he gets hurt. Right? That's the question.
Yep, true that.
But man, it's crazy how a team like Chicago, who everybody knows is cash strapped. Ooh, tie game, 4-4.
Oh my God.
Winnipeg is in it.
Who are these guys?
Anyway, it's crazy to think that a team like Chicago, who everybody knows is up against it when it comes to the cap, And what do? They go out and sign a $5 million backup plan to their goaltending situation.
Yeah.
They have $10 million in goalies.
Yeah, that's scary, man.
But both guys can do the job. It's just talking about depth.
Mm-hmm.
They are really playing for that injury with Crawford.
Maybe that's part of the plan, I guess. But how much is that money worth it then, right?
Well, that's it, right? If somehow Crawford doesn't get hurt this year, you're going to look at that $5 million and be like, what the hell did we do that for?
Right. And that's a lot of money, man.
Imagine this.
That's like, if he plays like 40 games, that's way too much money.
Well, imagine this. Imagine Crawford crushes it, plays 60 games. Leonard plays 22. They missed the playoffs by 2 points.
Oh, yeah. Like, ooh.
Man, we could have spent that $5 million somewhere else.
And then they're like bottom 10 in the league for goals scored or something.
Yeah. Right? They could have spent it on a forward.
Yeah.
And then you just sit there and you just hindsight's 2020 and you just lose your mind.
Yeah.
Right? But at the same time, if Crawford does get hurt and Leonard does step in and crush it, regardless of if he crushes it, you still look smart. But the thing is, right, with Crawford, concussion, vertigo. Like, those are all... When you talk about guys being Band-Aids, right? Matthews is getting there because it's shoulder injuries, right?
Yeah. Injuries and stuff.
Steven Stamkos, people started to call him a Band-Aid because he had his knee issue, then he had he broke his leg, then he had his other knee issue, then he had... Did he have blood clots or something? Or was that somebody else on Tampa?
I don't know.
But he had kind of a couple runs of injuries, and people were like, oh, he's a Band-Aid.
Yeah, a couple years in a row.
Every injury was different.
Yeah.
I find it hard to call a guy a Band-Aid if they're different.
And honestly, I don't think he is anymore. I don't think you can call him that anymore because he played like a full year last year.
The reason I don't think you ever should have called him one because they were all different, right? It's all just unlucky.
And when
he broke his leg, dude.
Dude, who's not going to break their leg on that play? That's not Band-Aid. Oh, my bones are weak. No, you're going to break your leg.
Like his meniscus tear.
Yeah. You can't avoid that.
People have their meniscus tear when they're walking down the stairs, getting off the couch. Never mind being an athlete. Yeah. It just happens. It sucks. Right? Shit happens.
And he doesn't play the game like a pussy either.
No.
But
when you start looking at guys like Crawford where it's just head injury, head injury, head injury, head injury.
It's the repeated ones, right? That really...
That's, to me, when you start looking at the Band-Aid.
The Letang and stuff.
Plus the fact that you look at Crawford and he's getting old, too. Mm-hmm. And that's what happens.
Yeah.
Your body is no longer able to fend off all these injuries.
Yeah.
So I think it's a good backup plan for Chicago to have.
Yeah. Not necessarily what you want to spend, though.
Man, it's crazy to me that they're spending that kind of money.
Yeah.
Especially when... You think back to their first Stanley Cup. Antti Niemi was their goalie.
Yeah.
You know how much money they spent on that goaltending situation? Not $10 million.
Yeah, not very much.
Right? So it's crazy. They've come a long way in the kind of roster build that you expected them to have.
Right. Actually, speaking of that, I just noticed today, put it in our message, that DeBrincat got re-signed.
Right.
Another bridge deal. UFA ahead of time.
What?
He is UFA, right?
Yeah.
That's entry level,
RFA.
Right? Or that's what Jesus. Yeah. Saying the wrong letter.
What a ridiculous deal.
Yeah.
That right there is the I want to play in Chicago.
Exactly, right? I love it, man. Like, young player who totally flipped the books on what every single RFA did this year. He's like, nah, it's all good, man. I want to be here. That's good money. Boom, let's go.
This dude could score 50 this year.
Yep. And what is he getting? 6
1/4?
Something
like
that.
Less than that, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, dude's playing with Kane. He got...
Oh, sorry. More than that. 6.4.
Yeah. He got a goal earlier in that afternoon game. He's playing with Kane.
Yeah. He played with Kane last year, too.
And dude's having... He's going to be good.
He had 41 goals and 74 points, I think, last year.
Yeah. And like kind of out of nowhere, right? Like last year it really exploded.
He had a decent year in his first year. I looked him up today.
Solid,
actually.
Good contract though, because Chicago needs all the good contracts they can get.
You know what else is nice? I don't know if you looked at the cap friendly. You see when the deal ends?
Is it right as everybody?
Right as Taves and Kane end.
Beautiful.
How perfect is that?
Very good planning. That's their reset button that year, hey?
It's gonna pretty much. 2017, 2018, his first year in the league, 82 games, 52 points.
Not
bad as a rookie.
Shabby.
Year 2, sophomore slump. Wrong. 82 games, 76 points. Not 74, I lied. 41 goals, 35 assists.
41 goals.
41 goals.
If you can put up over 40 goals in that's a good deal.
Half a goal a game.
And he's only getting better, obviously.
He hasn't missed a game his whole career.
Another great thing.
And he didn't play in the A. He went straight from Erie to Chicago. It's just classic Chicago.
Yeah.
Just plucking him out of the draft again.
Yeah, they really got their eye on like high skill, those high picks. They really nailed those picks for the most part.
And it doesn't even have to be high.
Like, did they draft Panarin?
Yeah. No.
I don't know if they did either.
He might have been a free agent sign.
Anyways, that's kind of what I joked about. Imagine if they could have kept Panarin too. Like, holy shit. That would be an offense. But, like, they're in tough, though. Maybe they can make a run.
Yeah, he was
undrafted.
Year.
He was undrafted.
He was a Russian free agent.
That's awesome.
Which I'm pretty sure it was partly Anisimov that helped facilitate that.
Oh, yeah, okay.
If I remember correctly. But it's crazy, right? It's the rich get richer. We talked about this.
I don't know if you can call them rich right now.
They have 3 Stanley Cups in the last 10 years.
Okay, well, yeah, you're right about that.
They still have 2 or 4 of their main core from those cup runs on that team.
Yeah, that's true.
And 2 of them aren't very good anymore.
Yeah, that's the thing.
But
you're right. Why do you need to just screw off? Stay not relevant.
You ever heard of this rebuild thing? Because that'd be cool.
Yeah, they don't.
They did it for.
They've kind of just been chilling. Yeah, I guess it's only really been 2 seasons since they've been good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy.
It's ridiculous. That's what I mean. You still have Taves and Kane on their thanks for getting us Stanley Cup deals.
And Taves played a lot better last year.
He did.
I hope he can keep that going this year. Because it was just unsettling in a way when he had that drop-off year. I think it was 2 years ago, right?
Yeah.
And I was just no.
Well, he kind of did it with Seabrook and Keith, too.
Yeah.
Right? The 3 of them kind of were just check, please.
I think it was the whole team. They just had an off year.
But Kane still did Kane things. They're just
Kane's just Kane.
What is happening?
But I was just depressed that Taves had a bad year, and I was like, please don't do that. Don't.
I miss Captain Series. I do.
Yeah.
It's crazy. They signed those $10.5 million deals, him and Kane. And it was pretty much thanks for getting us 3 cups. Here's your reward. Go off into the sunset with Keith and Seabrook.
Yeah.
And Patrick Kane's actually, no.
I ain't done.
Taves kind of was yeah,
I'll take a year off.
You got me. I want the beach here.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden it's actually, winning's fun.
Yeah, the Central Division has me so intrigued. Obviously, because our other podcasts we're talking about Colorado, but it's such a crazy division. And even from last year, how do you have fucking 9? Was it 3 teams at 99 points? Or whatever, or someone had what? They were all within 3 points.
First place was at 100, and then 99 for second and third.
What is that?
And then
they all.
Well, the Avalanche made the playoffs at 90 points, I think.
Yeah,
but they were the second wild card,
and all those Central teams did not play bad in the playoffs. You know, they all had decent showings.
Man, that
won some series.
There was some really good series.
Yeah, and the St. Louis Winnipeg series was excellent. So.
Matthews just super sniped.
Sweet.
I thought I hit the crossbar. Yeah, man. It's remember when we were kind of like, the Central's kind of just meh at the start of last year.
Yeah, that changed real quick.
It's not.
Yeah.
You know what's not meh? The Eastern Conference, the whole thing.
Yeah, it's getting spiced.
Ottawa's going to be bad. Columbus is going to be bad. And that's all I got for you.
And is Columbus might be bad. They lost. Okay, they're getting okay.
They just don't look very good.
They definitely don't look good on paper, especially now too. Because and
are they going to be like?
I feel like
65-point Avalanche bad? Probably not.
Yeah, probably not that bad. I don't think anyone's that bad anymore. But they're like, I feel like inexperienced or something in that front office. Like that was a big gamble, dude. What they did, and it did not pay off. Well, they won a series. At least they won a fucking series.
That's the thing, right? It paid off to a point because they did something they'd never done before.
That is true.
As a franchise, right?
Yeah.
Obviously, not everybody's blessed with Vegas luck. Or
the thing is about that, though, it's just they lost a lot of people that helped them do that.
Oh, for sure.
Especially like Panarin and Bobrovsky, obviously.
That's huge.
It's like, geez.
But that's why I don't hate what they did, just because of the situation.
Yeah.
How many times does a team have that situation where it's like, we straight up know you guys aren't coming back?
Yeah.
Like there's like a 2% chance one of you guys sign here, which sucks for Columbus. You want to talk about players not like in the RFA pool that we just talked about that want to play there but didn't really take team-friendly deals?
Yeah. Like,
these are in good markets.
Yeah.
Columbus is screwed.
Yeah, and it's like, that's like the biggest middle finger to the face. It's like, yeah, I'm done. Like, I don't want to talk about a contract extension. I'm done. Trade me now, or at the end of the season, bye.
Like, it's not. I just want to wait till free agency and see what kind of offers I get.
We'll talk.
It's straight up like, you're not even in the interview process.
We're not gonna talk.
Remember when John Tavares said no to Montreal? At least Montreal wasn't his team.
Right.
Like, at least the Islanders got a interview.
Yeah, they, like, treated them like, man, I don't know. I wonder, is there, like, issues in that front office and shit? Like, I don't know, because, like, who does that, too?
I'll tell you where the one issue is, I almost guarantee. On the bench, Torts is not probably the best fun.
Yeah, I don't think him and Panarin really got along, did they?
Oh man, that is Blake Wheeler cannot buy one. I think
2 posts in one play. You poor guy. He's depressed.
Speaking of can't buy one, in that Flames game last night.
Oh my God,
Kadri.
I gotta find a record book for how many posts are in a fucking game, dude. Because I was like 10.
Kadri was man. The whole game was ridiculous.
It's like 10 posts, maybe even more.
Yeah,
that was a lot.
Starts off with Kadri wide open, 4x6 on his knees, somehow off the crossbar from like 6 feet away from the net.
Smashed it so hard, right in the middle.
Ding!
Bam!
Could have been his first goal as an Av.
Yeah, it would have been so cool.
Psych. He actually looked really good. Did you hear
Did
you hear his comments on the trade or the situation?
Oh, like the Flames for the Flames.
Well, so yeah, he said no to the Flames.
Yeah.
He apparently pondered it for a couple of days.
Right.
But then his comments were, I didn't think the Leafs were seriously shopping me, so I thought if I said no, they would have kept me in Toronto.
Right.
Which sounds really dumb after the fact, but I kind of see it. The thing with Kadri, especially in Toronto, Kadri wasn't a problem until he got suspended against Boston every year. But money-wise, he wasn't a problem. He wasn't too much money.
Oh, no.
It was just he was an asset that could get could get the Leafs Tyson Barrie.
Yeah.
Or could have got them probably TJ Brody. Thank God he said no. So, I think he said no out of, good faith to Toronto. You know, he didn't want to leave, but he also didn't want to leave them in a shitty spot.
Well, because he did say too, like, I'm pretty. It's pretty safe to say that like everyone around the league knows how good every team is, obviously. So it's not like he didn't want to play for Calgary.
It's not like he thought Calgary was going to be shitty.
Yeah.
But I do also understand the fact that he didn't want to leave Toronto. He's from London, Ontario. He's from 2 hours away.
Yeah.
He was playing for his hometown team. I wouldn't want to get traded from there either. And especially for him, where he's on that team-friendly deal. It sucks for him. But, man, he looks really good in the Avs uniform.
I think
it
really works good. Out better for him to be on the Avs than the Flames.
He's a second-line center.
Right. And I don't know. He wouldn't fit in as well on the Flames lineup as you see it today, I don't think. I think he fits better in Colorado.
I think so, too.
Although, I guess you could put him in on that second line, move backs down.
Well, yeah, right, because that's the thing. You're looking at Calgary, it's pretty clear that there was a first and second line center.
Yeah.
And obviously the Leafs wanted a centerman back to replace Kadri. So the Flames would have traded Jankowski most likely, right?
Right, and I hear that they're possibly still trying to shop him. Which isn't that surprising.
Not really. Legendary pick, but it's really sad.
Yeah, sucks.
I don't know. He's having a bit of a...
He's like okay, you know?
The year he came into the NHL, I think it was that playoff run and stuff too.
Yeah, it was 2015, I think, right?
He looked like he had a shot of being like a legit number two to push into one centerman.
Shut down, kind of, yeah.
Like, not Bergeron, maybe what Draisaitl's going to be, right? Not obviously as powerful offensively, but like just a really solid centerman, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it just, nothing's happened since then. It's just...
He hasn't really grown, so...
It's a bit weird.
Yeah.
The Canucks screwed me on opening night. I'm really happy about that.
Right.
I put a parlay in for all 4 opening night games, and the only game I lost was Vancouver, who had the damn lead in the third period for all of like 30 seconds.
Blow it.
God damn it.
Yeah.
They look okay.
Yeah. It's a good way to put it. They look okay.
I'm excited to see Demko play.
Yeah.
I really am. Like
Thatcher.
As much as I don't mind Markstrom, everybody knows Demko's the future in Vancouver.
You'd think.
I'm really excited to see what he did over the summer and what kind of season he can have without injuries and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
He's kind of Calgary's Parsons, right? Like, they drafted him. It was expecting you to be the next guy.
Yeah.
Calgary drafted Tyler Parsons for the same reason.
Mm-hmm.
Tyler Parsons has not done what was expected quite yet. But Demko, man, he's right there on the cusp.
Yeah.
And I think it sounds like they want to play him 40 games this year or something, which
I think that's a good idea.
That's a nice show.
That's a good idea too. Let him catch a bit of adversity too, and let him try and work through it. You know, he's got to taste it a bit, to like really know what's up in the NHL goaltending wise. So
for sure,
and that, you know, I don't know. Is there expectations in Vancouver to make the playoffs? Because I don't think there should be yet. Maybe next year. This year, maybe. You never know.
It could happen because think about last year, right? They were in the fight.
Yeah, they were in that turtle derb.
Yeah, exactly. They were in the we don't know if we want to make the playoffs fight.
Yeah. If we win 5 games in a row, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But it's Vancouver. They always seem to be in that we don't want to rebuild, but we want to be better kind of mode.
Yeah, for sure. Nice little pickup with Ferkland.
I'm also really interested to see what happens with Eriksson this year.
Louis.
Man, he's still hot garbage.
Mm-hmm. Greatest contract out there.
One of. If Milan Lucic didn't exist. Actually, I don't even know.
We'll see. I don't even know who's worse than that. Who's worse? We'll see. But I think,
Lucic gives you something.
Yeah, it's hard to say because
like
Lucic has not been good. Like
you
last
said,
year.
Lucic can still, like, being a warm body is part of Lucic's skill set. He gets in the way. He does stuff that...
This big boy. Get the puck off the wall. Get it to someone
Louis
who can
Eriksson
score.
doesn't have that.
Yeah, like, what does he even bring anymore? He's kind of one of those completely irrelevant players who, like, except for his contract, it's pretty relevant. But, like, it's so funny. I think we just kind of talked about that, how, like, insignificant someone can become so quickly.
So fast.
Like, in the matter of, like, a few years, just boom, you're gone.
It was pretty much instant there.
That's the sad thing about that.
They signed that deal, and you're like, okay, that was weird. And then he gets there and doesn't do anything.
Yeah.
Like, that contract was weird because you're like, why would you sign that? Aren't you guys rebuilding? Like, don't you want to tank and get like a better draft pick? Like, this guy's going to score 50, 60 points and put you over, win you some games. And then he didn't do that.
And then he wasn't even close.
And you're like, well, what the hell's happening?
It's like, oh no, we fucked up.
Why did we do this?
Yeah. The Rangers are gonna be good. They're like a whole new team. They're like a whole new team. Especially like their power play is so much different now. It's like, whoa, okay, they actually have some good scorers on there now. Like Panarin, like most of their new guys scored too. Panarin, Trouba with the friggin' rocket from the points. They scored
6 goals on Thursday.
Wednesday.
Thursday.
Yeah. Yesterday, yeah.
Or I don't know.
Yeah, they played because they played back to back tonight. Right. Yeah.
They scored 6 goals. Buchnevich on the first line with Panarin and is it Kako, I think?
I think he was playing out there. I honestly don't quote us on that because I can't remember. I wasn't paying enough attention. You
were just watching the Jets.
Bitching about the Jets. That's what I was doing.
Let's see. First line, Panarin. Oh, Zibanejad.
Right. Mika.
Panarin had 4 points.
Yeah.
Buchnevich was +3 with 0 points. That doesn't happen because your team has no offense. It's very odd that you can go +3 and not have a point.
Yeah.
And be on the forward line. Like, a defenseman going +3, no points?
Right.
Sure.
Yeah.
Being on the forward line's a bit different. Very weird.
Yeah.
I was very weirded out by that.
And, yeah, that PP, man. It's going to be good. Oh, man. Oh, shit. You know who looks kind of good, too? Fox.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
I forgot he signed in New
York. He's a sneaky fucker, man. He's got like some sneaky... Because
that was the Flames prospect that was part of the
Carolina deal or whatever.
Trade, yeah.
And honestly, like, I hate players like that just don't want to play wherever they are. Screw you. We'll just get that out of the way.
Yep.
But he looks like he is going to be good. And he's playing on that. He's quarterbacking the top power play. That's wild. Like, I did not see that coming. I didn't even know he's going to play this year. He's like one of the mainstay D-men on that team now. That's wild. And there's just like this one play that made me really be like, oh. It was just like I think it was Kako that passes off the right wing just back to Fox. He's a righty, I'm pretty sure, right? I'm pretty sure he is because that's what makes this work. Yeah. Passes off the right wing, comes to him, so coming into his like one-timer position and kind of just like shoots this little like heel one-touch pass right over to Panarin. And I was just like, whoa, what was that? Like, I just don't see that. You don't
seen that one before.
Who does that? And it was just kind of like, boom, perfect little one-touch pass right to Panarin. Panarin goes in, gets a good shot, wires it wide, I think, or something. But it's like, oh, shit.
It's
New York, man. I think that's a huge thing about New York is they're like a seller market or like a market for the players. Like the players want to play there, right?
Yeah, right. Like you talk about good hockey markets like Tampa Bay, right? Like, who doesn't want to play hockey in the summertime all year round?
Yeah, pretty
kind of
much.
like California, right?
Yeah.
San Jose, Anaheim, LA, right? It's easy to sell those markets. New York's just New York. People love to go there.
Yeah, it's like it's kind of like Toronto in a way, right?
It's Toronto without the media bullshit.
Not as crazy for sure.
Right? Like you cannot be a Maple Leaf and walk around Toronto.
Oh hell no. Well, yeah, New York's got a shit ton of people. I think
you can be a Ranger and walk around New York.
Easy. Maybe a few times you'll get recognized and stuff. You probably will, but
I think it's a bit different.
So many
It's way easier to be kind of under the radar in New York.
There's so much more going on there, right? It's such a busy city, and that's the other thing, too. It's probably why it's so appealing to so many of those players, because that's why. There's so much going on in New York. It's like, why do you want to play in L.A.? That team sucks right now. Those players are all happy they're there. Are you kidding me? They're all happy.
Why do you think Drew Doughty just re-upped for 8 years?
Right? That's a perfect example. Why the hell do you want to be there? I already won a cup. And
he could have got paid and won something somewhere else. The Jets won the game.
What
in the shootout.
Yeah! Okay, Jets fans, don't get ahead of yourselves. That was a fucking brutal start to that game. That's a miracle.
I was going to go back to the Jets and the Rangers there
Wheeler, what a beauty.
Thursday.
Yeah.
The Rangers look good, but is it just because they were playing the Jets?
Yeah, that's going to be the Jets are in tough this year because they're in such a tough division and they got a hell of a lot worse. Like I don't know if they're going to be struggling for a playoff spot, maybe, because I don't know, unless Laine's got to go off, man. That's like such a big factor for this team. If he can score more consistently and not be a plug on defense, that's huge, obviously. Yeah. But like, there's so many factors to that team to do well this year. I don't think it's in the books.
It's a very tough one. Like you were saying, the Central Division's pretty stacked.
There's like 5 possible playoff teams in there.
Yeah.
6 maybe.
Right? And it's just like, man, on paper, you look at the Jets and you're like, there's so many reasons for you not to make the playoffs compared to everybody else.
Right. There's more reasons that you won't than most teams in that div. But, we'll see. And all those players, like Scheifele, Wheeler, they're clutch as hell. So it won't be without trying. But
no, definitely not. That's the one thing you know about the Jets. It may be rough because they get penalties all the time. But a lot of the time, the penalties are because they're in the game. Like they're physically in the game.
Yeah, they're always pretty engaged over the last few years once they actually, took that step forward. I just don't want to see them back to mediocrity, I dealt with too many Jets years of just mediocrity, and it's don't need it.
Shaq. Most obnoxious Canadian team fans. Number 1, the Leafs, Habs, Canucks, Oilers, Flames, Jets. And then I can't see the last one.
It's obviously Ottawa.
Oh, yeah. You're probably not wrong. I don't know. The Habs can be pretty interchangeable with Toronto. Canucks fans are up there. Oilers fans are up there.
I don't know. Maybe it's just... maybe Leafs fans. But, I don't know. I hate Canucks fans so much. It's tough to...
It's hard because you have your internal biases.
Exactly.
Like, especially in Calgary, it's Canucks fans.
Yeah.
It would be Oilers fans if they were any good. Yeah. It's kind of the same. Like, Toronto fans, I think Toronto fans are on top of the list here because we are literally everywhere. It's like being a damn Rough Riders fan.
And plus, like, the goddamn media just fucking 50% Leafs. The rest of the league is fucking...
I love, 50%. Like... It's one thing that I can't comment on because I don't get fed up. Like, turning on TSN at the top of the hour and watching Leafs highlights is fantastic.
Oh, yeah, probably.
But I can totally understand
It's not even the highlights that bother me. It's just repeated bullshit storylines.
No, we'll go with the biggest bullshit storyline is this is like the epitome of Toronto sports news. They did a piece on Nazem Kadri's cat like 3 years ago or something. That was a real thing. I totally understand why fans lose their minds about this.
Yeah.
I totally get it.
That's always like the running kind of meme. It's like, oh, what did Matthews eat for lunch today? Yeah. Like something like that, you know? Fuck.
But at the same time...
That's not even fans, though, to me.
Yeah,
right? It's not like the fans go around like, oh, like...
That's why, to me...
Hear about Patrick.
To me, I put the Habs fans at the top of the list just because... Well, okay, we can't boo TSN... Because Sportsnet's even worse. At least we got TSN.
Yeah.
I would put the Habs fans at the top of the list just because, like, to me, the fans are, like, the actual fans are just, like, too much. Leafs fans, very I'll passionate. Take it. I'll take second as a Leafs fan for sure. Because I know for a fact if the Leafs ever win the Cup again, I'm going to be number one on that list. For sure.
Yeah.
I will tell you right here. That's probably why they're never going to win. It's just going to be a complete jinx by the whole fan base. Just like when they were winning in Boston in Game 7. We all jinxed them, and here we are. Haven't won around since still.
Just too many people jinxing. Too much jinx explanation. What? I don't know. Don't worry
And then, you definitely got to go with Canucks at 3.
Oh, I fucking hate Canucks fans.
Just because... Yeah, like Shaq says, Canucks fans are saying, their local media is saying, yes, they've rided on multiple occasions. Done. Game over. Argument's over.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, there's some bad apples, but man. I'm trying to think of... Oh, we haven't talked about the Habs, actually, yet. They're an interesting situation.
They are an interesting situation. I've heard a lot of people saying they think they're a playoff team. What do you think?
They're definitely fringe second wild card.
Yeah.
Just, to me, this is the problem I have. So, this is the East, like the Eastern Conference. You have in the Atlantic... You've got Toronto, Tampa, Boston, which are probably going to be the top 3 again, barring something brutal happening to one of the 3 teams.
Yeah.
But at the same time, who's going to get in? I think it's Florida.
Yeah, right.
With Quenneville and Bobrovsky and that top
there's
line.
So many eyes on, like, and I remember he was like, Quenneville's like the preseason Jack Adams favorite.
Which
I was like, okay, maybe because he could have the biggest change in the team. But I'm like, whoa, man. I don't know if you can predict that shit. Because, I don't know, that's a lot. It is cute, but like...
It's so hard to give the preseason favor for the Jack Adams.
Yeah.
In my opinion, because the Jack Adams winner is always the one that's out of nowhere.
That too.
How do you predict that? Because if Quenneville does go off to have a great season, people are going to be like, well, we expected that. He is a good coach.
No Jack Adams for you.
It's such a ridiculous award.
It is,
right?
Yeah. It's same with the Norris,
John Cooper didn't win last year. He had a record-setting team with wins.
Right.
He was on the ballot, thankfully.
Yeah.
But...
Who won it? It was
Trotz.
Oh, yeah, right. New York Islanders. That makes sense.
He took that team from 31st in the league in goals against to first.
That's the biggest thing about that, right?
So
that would be like if oh my god, Edmonton Tippett. If Tippett did that with Edmonton,
if Tippett even gets the Oilers in the playoffs,
right? Jack Adams, boom.
Especially with Larson going down like this.
Oh, right,
man,
exactly right.
But see, like, he's not on the radar. He could absolutely win Coach of the Year,
right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Right? So it's one of those things where you're like, oh, I don't know, man.
So it's tough to say. Like, I am not really one that thinks that Montreal will make the playoffs. I could maybe see it. I don't know. I don't know.
So yeah, I guess I forgot.
I just don't know. Because I also think that like I almost feel that Montreal and almost Detroit and Florida are all kind of in that same spot. You know, they're like.
See, I think Detroit's closer to Ottawa than they're in Montreal.
Yeah.
They have a chance of elevating.
They
have a chance of elevating. They kind of have a chance to be Vancouver last year.
Yeah, they're kind of.
But I don't know if they'll.
Yeah, you're right. That's a good comparison actually because they got like a lot of young guys who are just probably coming into their own, and it's like how much can they put the team on their back?
So like this is the Atlantic to me, right? You got your three at the top, then you have Buffalo, Montreal, and Florida in the mix.
Yeah. And then Detroit,
I'd say
Ottawa.
To me, all three of them are very good options.
Yeah.
For that one or two of them.
Buffalo's that underachieving team, right? Too.
But then you go to the Metro, and you're like,
this fucking
Washington,
division, dude.
Washington for sure.
This is the Central of the East.
Yeah, right. Washington's good.
Yeah.
I don't know about the Rangers. Philly looks like they improved a lot. AV's there. They have a legitimate coach again.
Mm-hmm.
Carolina, who says they can't do the same?
They made it last year.
Right?
They won a series. So
Jersey looks ridiculously good.
Yeah.
Like way better than they did before.
Oh,
like definitely upgraded to last year.
See if Schneider can get a win before like whenever the fuck he got his first last
March.
Year. Like 0-30. Fuck, dude.
The Islanders, I don't see them taking a huge they're gonna take a step back. Does that mean they fall out of the playoffs? Maybe.
Yeah, they're a fringe.
Pittsburgh's Pittsburgh. It's still Crosby and Malkin's team.
Yep. Plus
right?
Gensel, man.
And then Columbus. So you're out Columbus. Man, that's a solid 10 teams.
Oh, in the East.
In the East.
Yeah. So right, I forgot where we started.
So do I say that Montreal's making the playoffs? Man.
That's tough, right? Because it could be that's probably, I don't know if probably, but yeah, probably for me, that's 5 out of the Metropolitan.
That's what I was about, or 5 out of the Atlantic, you mean?
Or yeah, sorry.
That's what I was about to say, right? Like to me, that's if Montreal's in, that's 5 out of the Atlantic.
Yeah. That's
tough. A tough sell, man.
Yeah.
That's a really tough sell.
Yeah.
But they also have Carey Price.
And man, he looked really good last year. 1 game
overreaction trophy winner, Leafs fans, 100%. It's not 2 games, but it's still for sure. I am stoked.
Rough Riders are the worst fans. Yeah.
100%.
100% agree with that, too. You damn... Oh, wait. They're Melonheads, right?
Yeah,
that's what they do.
Yeah.
Melonheads. Crazy. I don't watch that much CFL.
Good.
Good.
Yeah, so I don't know, man. This is the tightest I think I've seen the East at the start of the season ever.
Yeah, because
not ever. In the last 10 years, though, probably.
Oh, man, I love the league now, man. Last year really just made me happy because of how much shit just came out of nowhere. Like, I love unpredictability. That's my favorite.
We were kind of talking about it, right? The hard cap. As much as I think we talked about it in the summer.
Yeah, I think we talked about it on this podcast.
The hard cap, as a fan of your team, sucks ass.
It's stressful.
It's stressful. It leads to what we talked about all summertime with the new RFAs.
What are the contracts? What are they going to get paid? Blah, blah, blah.
As a fan of hockey and a fan of the NHL, the hard cap is awesome.
It's so good, man. Watch the playoffs every year, man. Crazy matchups that 8 versus 1 where you're like, oh, this is a blowout. Oh, well, 8 just blew out 1.
We've said it before. We'll say it again. Compare this to the NBA where the first round does not matter.
And do you know, how boring is that?
Why
I don't even watch the NBA and I can fucking predict who's going to win a series.
Yeah.
How sad is that?
Right? You get your 5-4 matchup and there's okay. If you lose the 3-6 matchup as a 3 seed,
it's a big failure, right?
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, you're fucking terrible.
Which
it's not even that uncommon in the
NHL. Raptors up until last year were really good at that.
Right.
But hockey, man, especially now with the format of the wild card and the interdivision stuff in the first round, it's 1 seed versus wild card seed, which, yeah, in theory, it's 1 versus 8 and 2 versus 7. But it's way closer than that.
Yeah.
And the 2 and 3 series, it feels like a 2-3 series. It feels like the series you get in the second round.
Totally.
In the first round every year. Every year. And then you get it again in the second round because they're playing the 1 seed.
And lots of people have issues with that, but I fucking love it.
I said it before the
best
playoffs
team
started.
will win.
Yeah, exactly. If you want to win the cup, you have to beat the best teams.
Doesn't matter what order you play them in, whatever. If
like,
you have to beat out the second place team and you're the third place team, fucking do it.
Like you
want to win the cup?
Like you said at the start of the podcast, do we want to see Toronto-Boston in the first round again? No. But if we do, are we going to be upset about it? No.
No, not at all.
I will,
and it's good. It's good damn hockey. Too,
I will
right?
be because I'm a Leafs fan.
Yeah,
but as a fan, I'm gonna be happy because it's gonna be a good series.
Yeah, and every time that's such a good. How can you complain when a series goes to 7 games every time and it's exciting as hell? It's awesome.
What did the NHL want out of this playoff style? Rivalries.
Right.
What did they get out of this? I don't know. Watch Vegas and San Jose tomorrow.
Oh man, right. And that's like unheard of too. They've talked about that like on some broadcasts that I've watched. It's like how insane that a team has been in the league for 2 years and they already got this like a crazy like heated rivalry with someone.
You remember the height of the Chicago-Vancouver rivalry? It's this right now.
Yeah.
Vegas and San Jose right now.
Yeah.
2 years into the league.
Yeah, that's wild.
It's crazy.
It's been super fun. It gets me excited for Seattle. I don't think they're not even going to be close to the same team. I don't think lots of, these GMs have learned. They learned a lot from that. But I think it's...
Maybe.
Exactly.
Kevin Hayes just got signed for 7+.
There you go. There you go. I actually really like that Vegas is a good team, though. It just spices up the league more, And it's so good for that fan base, too, because that fan base was immediately engaged because they had a good team. That team made it fucking far, all the way to the final. Like, who does that? No, it's unheard of. You're a fucking brand new franchise? What?
Yeah.
What are you doing here? Everyone was pissed, including me, kind of. Like, fuck you. You don't deserve a fucking Stanley Cup.
From jealousy.
Right? But it's like, hell yeah, dude. If there's any way you want an expansion team to come into the league, that's exactly how you want it.
100%.
Get to the final and lose. It's actually prime.
Lose to a team that's never had a cup. Well, a guy like Ovi, who's actually, I guess they never had a cup. It was their first one. So
yeah, isn't that crazy too? There's teams like that, Vancouver.
It's crazy back to back, man.
Yeah,
at Ovechkin and the Caps, and then St. Louis.
Right.
I guess we talked about DeBrincat. Braden Shen got extended today.
Oh shit!
Did you see that?
No.
8 years. It's a bit odd. 8 years, 6.5 a year. Front loaded naturally, but not crazy. 8 million first 2 years.
Okay.
But yeah, man, it's
8 years. What is he? 7? Something like that. Honestly, I have to use the washroom, so.
We can.
Okay, actually, yeah. How fucking long?
Yeah,
have
it's
we
been an hour and almost a half.
Oh, holy shit.
But yeah, Braden Shen. It's the first one of the thanks for winning us a cup contracts. He deserves it. He deserves it. I mean, since he came over from Philly, he's crushed it.
And like, I don't think he was totally expected to be as good as he was. Was he? I don't know. He's been pretty good.
So when he moved from Philly to St. Louis, I took him in every fantasy league.
Oh, that was the first year.
That was his first year.
Right.
I thought he'd be better. I didn't think he'd be that good.
That was.
So.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Right. So I mean, it's good for him. Good for him because when he was in Philly, this did not look like it was ever coming.
Yeah.
So good for him. I hope.
Yeah, that's solid. I
hope he crushes it for the next at least 4 years for that team.
I think that's worth the money.
I think so too.
He's pretty big.
It's just 8 years, man. 8 years at 28.
Yeah. So it's 28. Yeah. So 36.
That's a long time.
That's when it gets a little spicy.
Mm-hmm. But on that note, that's an hour and plus 15 minutes ish.
Yeah.
It's been fun. It's been a pleasure. Glad we're back.
Pleasure.
Glad it's real time hockey time.
Yeah. It's been fun already.
And we'll catch you next Friday.
Enjoy the weekend.
Adios.